Hi everyone. So once you open MRIcron, the main window gives you all the essential tools for adjusting how your brain images look. So to get a clean example layout, one thing that you might have seen when downloading MRIcron is the resources folder. So we can open templates, and these templates are within the resource folder. So we can get a skull version of an example MRI brain, or we can get one that's skull stripped. There's a lot of other templates that we can use. Then Atlas, Harvard Atlas, Rodman's, lots of different examples. So I'm going to close these images and I'm going to open the template CH2. So this loads the standard grayscale template brain that you may see in many MRI tutorials. So this toolbar above is the most important thing when using MRIcron. So just to break down a couple controls, the X, Y, and Z represent left, 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 right, front, back, bottom, top. So we're going up. This is affecting the axial view. The Z, the Y is affecting the coronal view, and the sagittal view is the X, the left and right. So changing any of these values updates the slice displayed in all three planes, and you can type values directly or use the arrow buttons. Step through the slices, you can also hold down your mouse and scroll a lot faster, and a really good way to see if there's any changes in your brain image. For example, if there's a lesion, you can scroll through, see where the lesion is, click on it, and it changes the other values as well. And there's also a zoom in option. Let's say you want to zoom in a little bit to see more detail. You can zoom in up to 9 times. Um, there's also zoom in 4 times, 3 times, fit. I usually just do fit. X1 is 100%, X2 is 200%, X3 is 300%. So higher zoom is usually useful for looking at specific details. Other important things, you can change the color. So right now it's automatically on grayscale, but you can change the background color to red, green. There's lots of colors, GE color, X hot. So this would be more, so this is an example of what you might have seen online of a brain image. And it separates the white matter, the gray matter, and the CSF as well. So I'm going to turn it back to gray. So you can also see these there's some controls here where you can change the intensity of your color maps. So your T statistic threshold, transparency as well. So transparency would be with this as well. You can change the transparency. You can see the scale at which you're working with your heat map, and you can also see the visibility of your selected layers. So one of the major benefits of MRIcron is your ability to do multiple layers. So when um when you're using MRIcron, if you have fMRI activations, you can usually see a gradient in where you're working. So a T-score of 2.3 will appear as dark red, for example, and a T-score of uh, 6, or a T-score of, if you have this at 2.3 and this at 6, a T-score less than 2.3 won't be shown. A T-score at 6 will be shown. This way you can change the intensity and the colors that you're working with as well. You can change the transparency on the background, transparency on the other overlays. You can add overlays. There's the drawing tools that we'll look at later. You can flip left or right. They'll give you a warning because right now it's in neurological convention, but now it just switched into radiological. So I'm going to switch it back. Usually neurological is a little bit better. Left is left, right is right. You can add a crosshair. Um, you can add MNI coordinates as well. So you can input MNI coordinates and it'll automatically change the X, Y, and Z. Um, you can put specific landmarks and save them. Um, you can display uh, specific views as well. Axial specifically, coronal, sagittal, they'll zoom into these specific ones. so that if you wanted to focus on axial, coronal, or sagittal, or if you just wanted to look at axial only, and then you can go to multiple to reset the view. There's also render, helping you create those nice 3D images, multi-slice to see different slices, histogram, 4D traces, and information as well. So information, you can see different metrics related to the file. We're not going to look at these right now. So you can also change your preferences as well. So font size, decimal places, rendering threads, maximum dimensions. One of the other important tools is convert to DICOM to Nifty. This is often useful. It's also an MRIcron GL. And you can undo or copy or paste any changes you want as well. So you can save the file as a Nifty after you're done editing, or save it as a bitmap. So for example, I have an example overlay that I'm going to put on, and you can just sort of see what changing the threshold does. So this example overlay is a drawing, so it's not going to have different intensities per se, but it will be useful. What just happened? Add overlay. Okay, yeah. So as we go through this brain, I think we'll see the overlay in a little bit. Should be here. Okay, so this is the overlay right here. And as you can tell, it's very light right now, and we can make it a little bit darker by making this 3, this 0. We can change the brightness. We can change from overlay in the background. So it's, we can change the background back to grayscale, make the overlay a little bit brighter. Go to 6. And then we can make it even 3, 2, 1. Okay, yeah, so do 1, I'm going to do 3, or even 0.2. So that looks a little bit better. We can see the specific overlay right here. One other thing that could be useful is briefly hiding the overlay while going through the brain just to see any changes. One of the issues here is that you'll have to hold the wizard icon to do this. So if you look here, you can see it goes from 0 to 2.9. 0.1, 2.9. Okay, so these are some of the tools that you can use, and some of the basic tools that you can use in MRIcron. The next video we'll talk about lesion mapping and using some of the drawing tools that MRIcron has, which can be super useful when doing a range of activities. So over here, transparency of background, I'm going to make it 100%. Actually, transparency around 40. And let's make transparency other overlays. Let's make this 100. Opaque, that's better. So this button can also be useful as an auto contrast button. Look how bright that color is now. So usually you would want to, you would have fMRI activation, some sort of bold signal, something like that, that can be input in here, or some sort of drawing as well. So we'll look at how to make those drawings or those overlays as well. So these, you can also overlay some of these resources within the resource folder onto the MRIcron as well. So I'm just going to overlay this. And it's going to show me an atlas, and which basically helps me learn whether the part of the brain that maybe I'm looking at belongs to maybe the superior parietal gyrus, left, right. I can go through the brain and figure out maybe where the lesion is and other information as well. So once again, we can also input template fMRI activations as well.